Namaste, fellow humans. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to get back on video and talk about something. My connection with Divine is getting stronger, I feel. And there are some changes that I need to make. And so I'm starting my journey all over again. And I'm bringing you guys along because I want to be held accountable to the things that I say that I'm going to do. See, about 7 years ago, I had what I call a spiritual awakening. I was at war with God at the time, and I did everything that I could to prove that there was no God. And I found myself being very cynical about things, and I was just upset with God because shortly before that, my grandfather had passed away, and I was Catholic, and I had some questions which the priest didn't really want to answer. And then he kind of got a little personal with me and started, threatening to kick me out. And all I was doing was just, questioning some of the things that were written about the Bible. But anyway, that's a whole different video. But so I was at war with God, and I got to wanting to discredit Buddhism and Hinduism. And to be honest, with Buddhism, I couldn't find anything that I could really make fun of, or contradict or say that it couldn't, because I wasn't just trying to say that God didn't exist, but this whole time when I came across meditation, I wanted to try it. I didn't just want to say that it didn't work. I wanted to try it. So I did, and I said it didn't work because it didn't work for me. But then at one point, I surrendered this battle that I was having with God. I gave up finally, and I said, "All right, fine. If you are real and if you really do exist, then I give up. I give up the search. Just whenever you're ready, show me." And then I had this incredible awakening, and on that day, I decided to grow out my hair. It was just something that I guess I was just called to do, and I used to be the type of person that was not comfortable going out with messy hair or not looking well. So I had to dress up and brush my hair, comb my hair before I left the house, and I wanted to be free from that. So I grew out my beard and I grew out my hair, and I felt so good being free. Like I was just free to be myself, and that felt awesome, and just there's no feeling like it. But shortly after, I had a girlfriend. I was living in Paris, and I had a girlfriend that lived out here in LA, and we were gonna have a baby. This baby. No. And say hi. No. All right. Anyway, we're having this baby, and I moved to LA, and I had a really hard time adapting to the new environment and looking for work, which I couldn't find. And so at one point, I just decided to cut my hair so I can fit in and look presentable. And when I did that, I think it was a big mistake because I felt disconnected from everything suddenly. And then I tried to grow out my hair again, and just, with distractions, I ended up cutting it again. But the reason why I'm telling you all of this is because I've decided that I'm going back on my spiritual journey, and that includes growing out my hair. Just a few weeks ago, I had this sort of mohawk-looking thing where I had really long hair up here, it was shaved in the sides, and now that I've been meditating and reestablishing this connection with the sacred, with the divine, with the Great Spirit, whatever you want to call it, it's called me to grow out my hair, and I shaved it, and now I'm growing it from scratch. But one of the things that I want to talk to you about is if you guys are wanting to start your journey, I think you should start there. Start with your personal image, and be as free as you can from that, because that's a big one. That's a really big one. Caring what people think. Some people say, I don't care what people think, but they won't leave their house in their pajamas or without putting on their makeup, and that's a good sign that you do care about what people think, because you're not willing to go out looking, as you are. You change the way you are to be presentable. But I've noticed that during these meditative states where I'm having these conversations with the sacred, I feel like certain things are interrupting that connection, because my mind steps in, and then it believes that it knows exactly what the divine is saying, and then it wants to reinterpret things and then mechanically follow what is learned during these meditative states, and that's not a good sign. That's not good at all, because that means I didn't learn it. That means that my mind wants to survive and it wants to continue telling, being the leader of all action, all external activity, and so sorry, my cat just jumped over there, scared me. And so the mind wants to take over, and I want to be free from all this stuff. So other than growing out my hair, here's a goal that I have. I want to go back to having absolute freedom. Absolute freedom from that mechanical thinking that I was telling you about. Absolute freedom from desire and pleasure and the fear of everything, like fear of failure, fear of not being accepted, all that other stuff. I want to have absolute freedom from becoming. So this idea that I have to become something, become the best filmmaker, become a great dad, all this becoming is just another thing that is occupying that mental space and keeping me from truly achieving what I want to achieve here. Freedom from criticism. I find myself criticizing people when I'm driving, criticizing bad drivers, criticizing people at the store, all that stuff. So being free from that. Being free from the past and future tense, which includes good and evil. So it said that when Adam and Eve were first in the earth, they were free. They didn't know good and evil. But at some point, when they ate the fruit, whatever, they became aware of good and evil. And I just hope to be free from that. This is Callie. She's jumping all over the place, driving me crazy. And then most importantly, so my concepts and beliefs, be free from that. Look at this. She's crazy. Concepts and beliefs, but most importantly, free from the idea of God. I don't want to go into these conversations with an idea of what I think God is. I want to be free from that so that connection is pure, uninterrupted. And that can't happen with all this noise that is occupying that mental space, that emotional space, which filters everything that comes in. It filters everything. If I hear something, if that divine says something that is true and raw, it could be scary, and fear will interrupt that, and then I'm back to shaving my head and all this other stuff, and this mechanical thinking and all this other stuff. But anyway, I'm rushing because I'm running out of time here, but I want you all to know that I'm on this journey. I want to bring you all along in this journey and teach, or not teach, but share the information, the wisdom, the knowledge that comes during this journey. My cat is climbing on everything right now. She's going crazy. But I welcome you all to share your experiences with me. If you guys have a channel, share. I want to watch your experiences. I'm curious to know what you guys are all learning from this. So I will see you tomorrow. Peace. Namaste.